My question to you guys is, has LSU found their starting point guard? Have they found their PG1 in Last-Tear Poa because of how great she was in that second half? It was the tale of two quarters. It really was in this game because LSU looked kind of like dead on arrival, kind of, right? You know, the first half wasn't good for them. The first quarter wasn't good for them. They only scored 14 points in that first quarter, and they had Alabama scored 23. Alabama, they were moving the ball, they were making stuff happen. Yes, they were fouling quite a bit, but for LSU, they just couldn't really get into a rhythm. They couldn't get into a rhythm, and it was an issue that was started up top. So, you know, while Hailey Van Lith has been trying to do this point guard thing, I think this game has really made it clear that Last-Tear Poa is the starting point guard for this team. Because you saw it was a tale of two halves. You saw the first half, Hailey Van Lith as the starting point guard, tried to do something, didn't work, get into halftime. I assume that Kim Mulkey lit into these players because she was probably like, y'all, what are y'all doing? This is trash. This is not how we play. And they did two things in the second half. They pressed, and they had Last-Tear Poa controlling the floor. And from there, defense led to offense, led to smart passes, led to smart plays, and led to buckets for LSU. And I will just say this, like, Last-Tear Poa, the reason why she is so good for this team as point guard is because she is a true point guard. She is. Last-Tear Poa is a player who doesn't really score. She doesn't look to score. She doesn't necessarily care if she scores. Today she had, and to make my point about her not caring about scoring, today Last-Tear Poa had a career high in points. Now, if you're wondering what was her career high, was it 25 points, maybe 30 points, maybe 20 points? No. Last-Tear Poa had a career high today of, drum roll please, 11 points. Yeah, you heard me right. 11 points is Last-Tear Poa's career high. And if that sounds wild to you, well, it kind of is in a way. But it really just shows how much of a pass first point guard she really is. She doesn't care if she shoots. She doesn't look for her shot. Sure, if in the flow of the game she gets a shot off, great. But other than that, she doesn't care. And I think that is what separates her from Hailey Van Lith being the point guard. It's what separates her from Michaela Williams trying to see what she can do as point guard. You need someone. Yes, I'm not saying that point guards shouldn't look to score, but I'm saying for this team in particular, because they have so many weapons, you need someone who can harness those weapons. You need someone when the play falls through, instead of getting the ball and driving or jacking up a shot or something like that, say, hold up, let's reset. And that was something that we saw Last-Tear Poa do in that third quarter. Slowing the team down. Okay, all right, let's run a play, let's run something, because Last-Tear Poa knows what Kim Mulkey wants. And she knows what Kim Mulkey expects from the point guard position, and she just does it. Sure, if she scores, great. She had 11 points today. She also had 4 assists in this game, 6 rebounds, and another thing about Last-Tear Poa that I think makes her, in my opinion, point guard 1 going forward for LSU is the fact that this girl got some defense. She can draw some charges, and we saw that in the NCAA tournament last year. We've seen it this year. I believe she's at 28 charges that she has drawn this year. And it's kind of cool. It really is cool to sort of see Last-Tear Poa really find her groove. In my mind, she is a starting point guard for this team. It's just night and day. Let me know in the comments what y'all thought about what Last-Tear Poa did today. Not a flashy player at all. She's a system type of player in my mind. And that's exactly what LSU needs. That's 100% what LSU needs. And she got it done. So let's see what y'all got to say. Queen says LSU definitely said not on my watch, and they came back and are about to take KRL says with Poa at the point, they look great. They do. They absolutely do. JB says LSU game was a tale of two halves. LSU spotted Bama 10 points in the first half and outscored them 58-18 while starters were in. Yeah. It really was a tale of two halves. Absolutely, JB. And the differences between the first half and the second half for LSU was two things. They decided to press on defense. And they put Last-Tear Poa as the point guard for the start of the third quarter. And that really did change a lot of stuff. KRL says, I feel like they definitely found their point guard one. Yep, I think so too. Antonio does agree with that. Says, yes, they finally made the right decision. Yeah, I think they've realized it. I think Kim Mulkey is like, yep. Experiment over. Experiment over. Also, while y'all are here, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be amazing. That would be so amazing. We got 110 people in the chat. Thank y'all for joining. Super Bowl is about to start soon, so we are going to make this live stream real fast so we can go and watch the Super Bowl if y'all are watching the Super Bowl. Let me know in the chat if y'all watching the Super Bowl. But if y'all can please hit that like button, that would be amazing. Marcus says that's dominance right there. Golly, yeah. That second half absolutely dominated. And to just sort of share my point, in the third quarter, LSU had 30 points. In the third quarter. You want to know how many points Alabama had? 9. 9 points. 9 points in the third quarter. And it was because of that hardcore defense. Hardcore defense from LSU. And they were bought in. And in the fourth quarter, LSU slowed down a little bit. They had 24 points in that fourth quarter, and Alabama had 16 points. But they just show that this team does have the potential to be very successful. They do. They have the potential to be very successful in the NCAA tournament if they play like this. Yes, Alabama is not the best team in the world. I'm not saying they are. But for us to see such a dramatic difference between the first half and the second half, it shows that if they just do what they did in the second half, the whole game, consistently, we got a really good team. We got a really good team on our hands in terms of LSU. So I do want to know what you all think about this. I do want to hear what y'all think. Brandon, thank you so much for the super chat. Brandon says, why would Kim gamble with the point guard position? Well, I think that Kim Mulkey was not convinced that Last-Tear Poa was the future point guard for LSU. She wasn't convinced of it. And Hailey Van Lith wanted to come over. Hailey Van Lith wanted to try her hand at point guard. And Kim Mulkey said, okay, come on over. You're a top transfer. Let's see what you can do. Let's have you run the point guard position. And, Kim Mulkey has tried to have Hailey Van Lith sort of figure it out, trying to figure out how to actually play the point. And they've been teaching her and trying to get her ready to go. But it just shows that, it shows that it's very difficult to teach specifically a shooting guard to be a point guard, because they are so much shoot first, pass second type of deal. And I think that in this game today, I think that Kim Mulkey has realized that, you can't gamble anymore. It's you kind of have to go with Last-Tear Poa. And again, we are recording this. We're doing this live stream literally right after the game, and so the press conference isn't done. They haven't done the press conferences, the post game pressers. So I am very much interested to hear from Kim Mulkey what her takeaways from this game are, and if Last-Tear Poa truly is the starting point guard for this team, because I'm not sure how Hailey Van Lith can go back to being the starting point guard for this team. I really don't see it, because Brandon, I don't think Kim can gamble anymore. It was fine to gamble earlier for the other games. It was fine, but now it's a very stark difference. Very, very stark difference. So if Last-Tear Poa keeps playing like this, she has the role. She has the role, in my opinion. She has the role. Rich says Super Bowl predictions. Prediction on Usher's first song. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. I am a Kansas City Chief fan. I was a Kansas City Chief fan before Travis Kelce ever started dating Taylor Swift. I've been ever since they drafted Patrick Mahomes. I'm a huge football fan, huge. My family's a huge football fan, family. So I've been a fan of Kansas City since Patrick Mahomes was drafted. And honestly, before that, I was a fan of. Even then, I was a bit of a fan of Kansas City, because I don't know. It's something about them. It's something about Kansas City that just feels like, I don't know. It feels nice and feels. Also, I'm a huge Andy Reid fan. Andy Reid used to coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, and y'all, the Philadelphia Eagles was my team. Yes, it was the Chicago Bears, but second was the Philadelphia Eagles. I love that team. And Andy Reid used to be the coach of that team. So a prediction for the first song for Usher, I'm gonna say yeah. I think yeah is gonna be the song, but we'll see. Our dog says, I think she gambled because it looked like they were going to lose. Gamble in putting Last-Tear Poa in the game. Yeah, maybe. Wesley says LSU needs more 3-point shooters. Yeah. And you would think that LSU has 3-point shooters, and they do kind of, right? In terms of Hailey Van Lith can shoot threes. Michaela Williams can shoot threes. I think that when you look at the team and why they're not as productive from the 3-point line, is because I think it all starts with Hailey Van Lith not being in her natural position. Her being the starting point guard, she doesn't get the passes to. There's a certain way you need to pass the ball to a shooter to make a quick spot up three. It's not just any old pass. You need to be able to give them the right pass where the ball is when they grab it, it's coming right to them, right in a shooting pocket, and they pull up for a shot. And so I think when it comes to Hailey passing it to Michaela, it's not in her pocket for the most part for her to be able to pull up and hit a shot. And in terms of plays, a lot of times they run plays and it feels like their plays have broken down, and they don't really know how to kind of get it back together. So I would say that's Hailey not being in her natural position is the reason why they're having an issue with the 3-point shot. When it comes down to making a change with Last-Tear Poa as the starting point guard, I think we're going to start to see these 3-point shots happen for LSU because Hailey Van Lith will be in her natural position. She will not have to really worry about passing like that. It'll just be, okay, let me get my shot off. Let me get my shot. Let me get in the right spot for my shot. And I think that's going to help a lot when it comes to 3-point shots. And once Hailey Van Lith starts to get her shot going, the opponents are going to start to key in on that, and then Michaela Williams is going to be able to go off on 3. So I think it all starts with Coach Mulkey deciding to give up on the experiment of Hailey Van Lith as the point guard and go with Last-Tear Poa, put Hailey Van Lith in her natural position and watch her work. Lonely Music says LSU is a very good get to the paint type of scene. Yeah, they are. Let's see. Carol says, Hailey Van Lith's passing sucks. Wesley says Hailey Van Lith was supposed to be the 3-point shooter. Yeah, she will be once she gets back to her natural 3-point or natural shooting guard position. Carol says, I hate how Hailey Van Lith passes to Angel and Anissa as well. She puts them in awful positions. Yeah, because it's not, being a point guard is not just about passing someone the ball. It's not just, okay, there you go, there's the ball. It's not about that. It's about how you do it. Not all bounce passes are made the same. Not all chest passes are made the same. Not all lofted passes are made the same. There's a certain touch that you need to have to set up your teammate for success. And that's something that is a skill that is very difficult to teach. You either have it or you don't. And Hailey Van Lith doesn't have it. And that's okay. That's okay. She's still a phenomenal player without that.